3 days in a foreign country I've never been to, trying to make a film about tennis in the middle of rainy season. This is what we're up against. On an island in the Philippines, there's a clay tennis court that was built by a man named Salvador. He grew up here but left to work on a sailboat and found a passion for tennis while he was abroad. He decided to bring the sport back to his hometown of Gimbal and share his passion with the next generation. The organization One Love Tennis discovered Salvador through a post on Facebook, and Michael was able to raise the money to build Salvador and these kids a brand new hardtop court. And that's where we come in. I'm here in Gimbal with Jakob Kolba, and our mission is to craft a film about this story in 3 days during the rainy season. This film is going to be used to help raise more money so that One Love Tennis can continue their work and build courts like this around the world. We just have to get the film made first. Is that recording?
Oh man, I'm not recording. I just realized that too, and I just clicked record. I was like, wait, because we both have lights, and I didn't see it? Wow. Talk about two filmmakers hanging out in the Philippines and forgot to hit record. So let me think through that.
Definitely running a little behind here because quite a day to get to the airport. So I gotta get moving. To get from Los Angeles to Iloilo in the Philippines, it took me close to 24 hours. Oh, hey, what's up? And when I arrived, this was the first time that I met Jakob. We had a few conversations over WhatsApp before this project. However, both of us were arriving in a new place, meeting new people, while also just meeting each other in person for the first time. I've been up for like 2 hours, jet lag, it's crazy. But we are meeting with Salvador, one of our main characters, here at his house at 5 a.m. But we're about to go inside as soon as he's up. And we're gonna capture a little scene here, try to get some blue hour, and also try to get some footage at sunrise. You know, the best time to film these projects is super early in the morning, but definitely just like dropped in to this location, woke up, and just kind of figuring things out as we go. Morning.
There could be one shot, maybe even on sticks, and then we either get one close-up of it as well, or we just then get him walking outside, getting ready in the morning, going for the court. And this is not the opening, I mean, this is not his first scene that we've ever seen in the video, it's really just like a transition scene kind of. When he starts talking about the old court building.
Arriving into a new location and working on these kinds of projects, you never know what kind of challenges you're going to face. For this first sequence, we were trying to find a way to make this kitchen look a little more cinematic because there's a single light bulb that's hanging above and it's a little too harsh. So we tried a few different ways of adding some different lights in the background, turning lights on and off, and we settled on adding some diffusion between Salvador and the light bulb so that we could get a softer feel for this moment when he's getting his coffee ready. All right, so we're moving outside because it's blue hour, but sunrise is gonna come quick, so we gotta move.
Yeah, this is nicer.
Yeah.
Better.
My name is Jakob Kolba. I'm a documentary filmmaker and cinematographer. And with my films and with stories that I try to tell, I focus on people, on telling stories that are impactful, whether on a broader scale or even just impactful on a personal level for me and for the characters.
So how did you transition into travel adventure documentaries?
Yeah. When I started filmmaking, I did it for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and then I got a job offer to move to Switzerland and work as an in-house filmmaker for a tech company. As I was working in that company, and that was a 9-to-5 job, I really realized that that's not the type of filmmaking that I want to be doing.
Okay, maybe I'll go a little more here so we get the tree in there. Okay, come closer, Salvador, please, please, please. Even more, even a little bit more.
So we haven't seen his face in this sequence yet. So what he's doing is getting this kind of moment where he gets to the court. He's looking around the court before we go into fixing, repairing, and doing all that in the story. It'll be a nice way to introduce Salvador into this scene and you see his face for the first time.
It was repetitive, there was no storytelling, there was no time for creativity. And so that kind of started a process inside me of rediscovering why I actually started filmmaking. I enjoy experiencing how other people live and see the world.
So I'm thinking we definitely need to get some medium shots and close-ups of Salvador fixing the court. You know, there's some holes, so we can throw some sand over it, maybe sweeping it a little bit, hitting the nails, putting up the net, and then after that the children will come and there will be a little training session. What time is it now?
5:30.
5:30. We have 30 minutes. Perfect.
The final shot we're going to grab before the kids show up, Salvador grabbing some tennis balls, heading out to the court. He's going to be handheld here, grab the balls, walk out to the court. Good little moment here. And this is a cool space back here. There's like, can't really see it in the shot, but there's goats over there, there's goats over here. Lots of laundry.
That I think that it shows the contrast of the old, and then later in the film we show the new. You know, there's this old net, broken shoes, broken rocket.
How are you feeling?
Feeling good?
Yeah.
We're super lucky with the weather. I think that this is like this is what we could have wished for. You know, it's almost clear sky, nice blue hour. It rained the night before. Tennis karma.
Yeah, this could have been pouring. Last night it was dumping thunderstorms, just waking me up. But with this little rain, like everything is just popping. It's so green, it's so vibrant. It's great. But sunrise happens so fast here.
So
Like that was so quick.
yeah. It's literally 30 minutes and it's sun. And then give it 30 more and it's gonna be bright.
Bright.
Yeah.
It already is pretty bright, so I think we got some good footage for what we could.
This is really nice as well. And then maybe we get him, you know, just kind of bringing this,
Yeah.
put it down, and that's where the scene could end. That's where this scene could end. So he's getting ready for
Yeah.
the training with the kids.
How this project came together is through the Sown Collective. And how Sown works is that it connects filmmakers with nonprofits around the world to tell stories for social good. The filmmakers donate their time and skills for free to make a film that can be used by the organization for fundraising.
For me, this is an opportunity to use my skills to actually create positive impact in the world. We are so privileged, especially in the Western world, with the quality of our life, with the accessibility that we have, that we should really think more about how can we serve, how can we use our skills to do something good, whether that's once a year, you know, whether that's few times a year, but just do something good. The impact that you can have, and maybe you don't even know about it, through film especially, is huge.
She's staring straight into the lens.
Just hamming up the camera. I'm grabbing a negative fill so that we can get some shots and create more contrast. So I'm going to hold it on the backside of the kids while he's filming. Let's talk about some of the gear that we're using to film this documentary. For our main camera, we're using a Sony FX3 and mainly shooting on a 24-70 f2.8. We've also mounted a Shinobi on this camera for a bigger monitor. For the behind the scenes camera, we're using the ZV-E1 with a 16-25 f2.8. We also have a 35mm and 50mm 1.4 to play with. On the FX3, we're using a Tilta matte box with ND, and on the ZV-E1, we're using the Nisi Swift system for ND. We have shotgun microphones on both cameras, and we also have a lav mic that we're going to use for interviews. For lighting, we have a few portable lights that run off small batteries, and the biggest of those being the Jeven 100X. We also have a shower curtain for diffusion, a 4-in-1 reflector, and a black sheet for negative fill. We have a couple small tripods, and to get some aerial shots, we have a DJI Air 2S. The goal with this setup is to be as lightweight as possible and be able to fit into 2 backpacks. So we're getting a little sequence of Salvador stringing up a tennis racket. He actually brought this all the way from America so that he could string tennis rackets here whenever they break.
We put a shower curtain on the door, we keep it open.
Okay.
The shower curtain is going to soften it, and maybe we can bounce some light in with the Jeven light, so we get a little bit more of a fill.
Okay.
It's still going to be very moody. We just lift the shadows a little bit.
Look at that, shower curtain.
$15 shower curtain from IKEA. You just get 2 Velcros on it, and then you can just use it for whatever.
The hardest thing when working on these types of films is making it feel like a character-driven documentary rather than a non-profit corporate film. So even though we've been able to get a ton of footage shot, the one thing that lingers in the back of our mind is trying to figure out how to tell a story that captures Salvador, what he's doing, and what it means for the next generation in a way that's not just a talking head.
I think it's so much better to just show what is happening, how does the character live, how does his or her world look like, what do they care for, rather than having that person, being static on camera, talking off camera to the interviewer. And sure, maybe you need to introduce that character for 5-10 seconds, but then I think it's much better to think about how can we capture that person's story and that person in a more creative way, using B-roll and using scenes that you can recreate or document as a verite.
The big part of it is visual storytelling, show, don't tell, and especially with these NGO films, one of the issues is that a lot of these films will be an interview, a couple shots of B-roll, and it's just very plain, and it doesn't actually create that impact on the viewer to have them take action. Because at the end of the day, when you're working on an impact film, you either want to change someone's mind about the problem that's in the world, or you want to push them to action to maybe help donate or be able to give some sort of resources that can help this NGO. And so I think it's doing a disservice if you're making a film about a nonprofit and it's just very corporate versus what we're making here, which is a story-driven documentary that's very visual, that's going to leave an impact on the viewer. And so one of the things that we decided to explore in this film is how do we create a main character that simulates a younger version of Salvador and what it would mean for him to be able to have this tennis opportunity. So when we arrived to Gimbal, we met all the kids and selected Felix to play this character. And focusing on this singular story gives us a sense of why tennis is so important and the bigger story around how One Love Tennis is making such a big impact with these projects. So Salvador's headed to the airport to go pick up Michael, who runs the One Love Tennis. We have some time right now, so looking if we can knock off some other scenes.
We will shoot a scene with Felix, who's one of the kids playing tennis. And we were planning to shoot this scene in the morning tomorrow, but the light in the room that we want to shoot now is really nice. And as Jeven said, we had around 2-3 hours, so we're just gonna get it done. And with that, we're covering so much today, actually.
Yeah, it's so much of the film has been shot already. It was a very productive day.
Yes, and beautifully as well.
I mean, it's probably a good thing we're doing this because there was rain in the schedule every day.
Yep.
And so the fact that we haven't got any rain and we've had perfect weather is kind of take advantage of it because we might be stuck inside just
Yeah.
pouring down rain one day.
Yeah, especially when it's sunny and hot like this, you know, the steam starts evaporating from the jungles and then the rain comes in quickly. So just get done as much as we can, and using Milanote for shot lists and mood boards and everything. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that software. So yeah, here's a few shots from this morning that we didn't get, but these are actually shots that need some preparation, like rigging the camera to one of the rockets, getting the ball fall into specific places on the court. So we might do this on Thursday or tomorrow. Then Salvador at home, we got all of this, beautifully shot. New court construction, we got a little bit of that, we still need to do more. And then beach scene, that's in the afternoon. So, yeah.
So what are you getting?
Just like a wider shot and kind of using these trunks here to create a little more darkness in the frame. So we have darkness in the foreground and then we're shooting into the pocket of light that the sun is giving us. The sun is quite high now, so it's pretty harsh, but yeah, this is what it is.
All right, so we got a break now, and we got some food. Let's see what we got here.
This looks like a barbecue chicken wings.
Chicken teriyaki.
Chicken teriyaki, wow. Oh my god, looks delicious. And then we have filet. This is funny because in Czech Republic when you say filet, it's definitely not this. It's just like a piece of...
Look at that, that's a...
Oh wow.
That is a fish. Look, there's teeth.
And rice.
And rice. Nice little table set up here. This project has been, like, in a lot of ways, this project is like easy. Our hotel's across the street. We walked over here. We've been shooting all day. We've been getting great footage, great weather. Meals are just right here in Salvador's like little area he's built. That's this, I don't know what you would call this, like open dining room. And we're getting like, looks like a fresh caught fish, chicken teriyaki, lots of water. Time to eat. So this was going smooth.
It was.
This might put a damper on everything. I don't know if we can get this interview because the rain is so loud on the roof that you can't hear anything inside. And you have all these metal roofs. And then if it keeps raining like this, we can't get any beach scenes tonight. So we might be like done for the day if it keeps raining like this.
Maybe, yeah. But usually when it's heavy like this, it might not last long. But we are in the rainy season, so it's 50-50, I would say, 50-50.
Okay, so the rain stopped enough for us to get this interview, but light has completely changed. You know, there used to be light coming through this window that we had, and we're simulating light through this window, but it's just dark. So we're gonna have to bring in some additional lights, put them in. Got like a couple little lights that we'll use. Make it something close.
I think this is just the last bit of it.
Well, here comes the rain again.
Please, gods of rain, stop it already. It's been only going for like 30 minutes.
So we are done for the day. This rain not letting up. So we got to get back in it. All right, day number 2. Like last night, that was so much rain, but look at this beautiful morning, and it's blue hour. Like waking up at 5, you get this just amazing look, and the sun's about to come up quick. But we're gonna walk down the beach. We're gonna shoot some scenes with Salvador. This is a great time to get some hero shots, some introspective, like, you know, thinking about things, shots that we could use kind of to overlay different aspects of the film. And we actually haven't really been down the beach yet, so this is kind of cool to see a different part. Like, I feel like we've had a set. Like, we've been over at Salvador's place, the tennis courts. I mean, you guys have seen it all up until this point, and it very much feels like we've had this like compound. It's like a set, and it's just worked super well and made it super easy to make a film. But yeah, today we're gonna come to the beach a couple times, show just a little bit more of the area, and try to finish up most of this film today.
Remembering the moments when you decided that you want to use tennis to help children and to build a tennis court. Yeah. So. Good stuff.
So blue hour done.
Blue hour done.
Great.
Yeah. Ticking
Now
off the shots.
Next is coffee.
Yes.
Coffee.
Coffee break.
Coffee break. And then we're gonna do the interview with Salvador, the one that we were trying to do last night with the rain.
So with Salvador, obviously we knew that we need to do an interview for the film, right? To get his story on camera. But my goal, not to have the interview in the film a lot. And because of that, I didn't want to create something that looks very corporate or very traditional.
Like this?
Like this, exactly, right?
This is more of a corporate style, traditional, yeah.
And so we didn't want to do that because we wanted the interview to seamlessly kind of fit into the visuals of the film. That was the main criteria, I would say.
Hello, my name is Salvador Opeña Gomez Jr. I live in Barangay Cabasi, Gimbal, Iloilo, Philippines.
Since we've been doing that interview, it looks like they're setting up for all the festivities out here. It's going to be the big opening of the tennis court today. And it looks like they're getting like tent set up for food, which I'm excited for. You know, obviously it's great to be able to work on these films and, you know, go to these cool locations, but the biggest part is like the people and like actually being here, being able to celebrate, you know, whatever it is that we're celebrating depending on what project we're working on, and be able to like food and culture and just like be in the environment. And yeah, I have a camera out a lot of time. I'm bringing you guys on the adventure, but there are a lot of moments where we put the cameras down and we're just like hanging out, chatting and being here with everyone else. Ready to go?
We're going to the beach to get 2 or 3 last shots with Felix, and then we already have some kids playing on the to-be-open court, and these are actually some graduates, so they graduated the college thanks to tennis, so we might ask them a few questions later as well.
A little alleyway down to the beach. This actually maybe work for the whole scene that we're shooting. Yeah, here, let me give you a quick test.
Can you turn the bag the other way so the rocket is on? And stop. Okay, so that's that. Now we're just gonna go follow him through this alleyway because it gives us nice leading lines and a little silhouette, I think, of him.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go behind you. Wait a second. Right, and so we're just gonna walk forward. Yeah, and go.
As we got back up to the court, the opening ceremony has started. A priest came to bless the court, and the mayor arrived to give a speech. There was a ribbon cutting, and One Love Tennis was given a plaque honoring their contribution to making this tennis court possible.
1, 2, 3.
We spend a good chunk of the day filming this sequence, even though the footage is only going to be used for a little bit in the third act of the film. One of the things you have to keep in mind when working on these projects is that it's not always about just making a film, because we are very much an active participant in these celebrations as well. So we put down the cameras, and we played some tennis, and we got to hang out with everyone to celebrate this court opening. So now we're done with lunch. We're going to do an interview with Michael.
Just started raining, so...
I think that goat just sneezed over there.
Yeah,
Of course, it's starting to rain right as we get going. So the way that this film is playing out, a lot of it is in voiceover. And so the interviews that we're doing, there won't be a whole lot used visually in the film. However, this is for a nonprofit. And I think Michael's story of why he started One Love Tennis and kind of is doing all of this, I think it's super useful for him to have that recorded nicely in this environment, and then we can cut some additional videos out of this that they could use for other ways for the organization. Because at the end of the day, the reason that we're doing this is for the impact that we can have and be able to, reach more people and be able to help the organization get more funding so they can do more projects like this. So anything additional that we can get, besides the film, like the film's obviously super useful, but anything else, great to get. I mean, we're here in this environment, this is wild. How's it feel to be back here?
I'm so happy. I mean, it's surreal in a way because you were here 5 years ago and now you're back and you see a lot of the kids that were this big. Now they're, grown and they all remember you, and it's just amazing. One moment you're in a big city and the next moment you're in a natural tennis court surrounded by goats and roosters, and it's amazing.
The sun was starting to go down and the rain was picking back up again. We had a few shots that we wanted to get, but we ended up having to push them until the last day. However, the rain actually was a good thing tonight, because we wanted to try to create a sequence that could represent what would happen if these kids went down the wrong path and didn't have a positive influence like Salvador. So in the rain, we created a moody scene that was all shot in silhouette, with a few of the kids hanging out on the street passing a bottle back and forth. The goal was to make it feel like nighttime by shooting at blue hour and getting color contrast with the orange headlights and the blue sky. And also, we used a lot of silhouettes in this sequence so that you really couldn't see who the people were and exactly what was going on. But it gives you that feeling that something shady is happening.
Nice. Have a sip.
Day 3.
Day 3. Let's get it. Yeah, look, it's still pink over there.
We actually might get a sunrise today. Got some color in the sky.
Yeah, we woke up, we wanted to go and film some running on the bridge. It's raining, so we're just having a coffee and waiting for the rain to stop. And then hopefully we can continue and get some more scenes done today.
We really front loaded this project. Doing that saved us from having potential rain issues. It was a good approach. Could do as much as possible on the front end, because we could have had rain like this the whole time. It is rainy season. But yeah, hopefully the court can dry up enough that we can get some cool shots on it, because right now there's a lot of water on it. So the big thing that we're missing from the film is footage of Michael playing with the kids on the clay tennis court. This is essential because we need to visually show Michael here in Gimbal. So for the rest of the morning, we hung out on the stoop, waiting for the rain to pass and give us enough dry weather that we could get some shots. And in the afternoon, we finally got our break.
Yeah, so basically, I'm framing the shot and I'm using the door, if you can call it, of this shack as a frame. So it's kind of a frame within a frame. And then right now I'm on about 55 millimeter. So it's quite compressed and I'm seeing the net there. And I would like basically to have Michael and maybe some of the kids come into frame, and this could be either an opening where they're just like shaking hands before the match, or it could be a closing.
Okay, 10 times circles. Good job.
So yeah, now I'm at double of the frame rate, But before I went a little higher, so I went 200 of the second in order to get a little less motion blur, and that will basically make the movement a little more intense. You can use it when you're shooting sports, action movies, and anything that is moving fast.
Excellent. My name is Michael Ray Polaris. I'm the president of the One Love Tennis Foundation. What we do is we create activities and play days for at-risk youth all over the world, where we use tennis as a vehicle to improve the children's lives. Being able to build this court for the children is going to be an invaluable tool for them to be able to develop not only their tennis skills, but all the life lessons needed to be successful in life. And my vision with One Love Tennis is create further opportunities by building more courts for the children to develop, not only on the court with their tennis abilities, but with their life skills. So we plan on building many more in the years to come.
So we're on the last shot of the film. There's one thing that we needed to get, which was a group of kids on their phone looking at tennis. It's kind of like an inspirational moment. And yeah, it's our last day. So this is trying to get this before we head out on plane. Got it?
Yeah, I think that's it. We got a wide shot, we got some close-ups, we got a medium shot, like a low angle, we got over the shoulder so we can see the screen, and we got a one shot from distance. Yeah, short scene, you know. Okay guys, thank you!
Hey! Hey!
High five! 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6,
5,
8, 9,
6,
6,
7, 8, 9.
I think we have a film.
It's a wrap!
That's a wrap. Yeah, how do you feel?
No, I feel good. I
Yeah.
think we got everything we wanted to.
It's a cool film.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, everything visually, you think through what the scenes that we shot,
Yeah,
it's going to be so rich in terms of visual storytelling.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well, now what?
Coffee?
Coffee. If somebody wants to become an adventure filmmaker or a documentary filmmaker, whatever we're considering what we're doing, what would be the steps that you would tell them? Or they're like, I want to do what you're doing. How do I do that?
First of all, they need to try, right? If you want to do something that someone else is doing and you just feel like it's something that you might relate to or you might enjoy, then you need to try it. You know, being intentional with whatever your choice is, the project you work on, the projects you say yes or no to, that's inherently what will navigate your career and your life. Always be able to experiment and learn.
If you are someone who's like wanting to do this kind of work, actually try one of these, that's where like Sewn, there is opportunities. If this is something that like you're already in this world of filmmaking, you're doing documentary, but you want to try this, you can apply through Sewn, which is how Jakob is sitting right here.
Yeah.
Sewn basically partners filmmakers with stories for these nonprofits around the world. You apply, and basically we send you off on one of these adventures, which is pretty wild. So down below in the description, I'll include a link to where you can apply to work on a Sewn project. And if you're ready to watch the full documentary that we shot with One Love Tennis in the Philippines, make sure you click right here on the screen, and you'll also find the link in the description as well.